Okay, okay, guys. Hello there. Good morning. Good morning. And this is Amit. And today I'm going to do a really powerful session with you because I want to show you, I want to share something with you that will truly help you to be more successful in what you're doing. Because there is some things that you should know in order for you to be successful in life and in business is to understand some basics. And I'm going to share something with you that will help you get to that level of success. Okay, good. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen here. And this is my name. This is my name, Amit. I'm a business consultant. I'm a certified success trainer. I'm an international best-selling author and a professional speaker. Now, I want to quickly share my journey before I give you the actual data, because it will give you background information about me and how I reached where I am today. So I do business consulting. I live in Canada, Toronto, Canada, but I do education and training all over the world. It is success training. It is training for business entrepreneurs who want to be successful and have a very successful and thriving business. But I did not start there. I started with a totally different background. I did not others. I was always interested in background is medical. Actually, my medical background. I'm a registered physiotherapist as an education, and I was always interested in the science, the biology, the mechanics of how mind works. And that's why I got intrigued when I started to look at how really mind works, how positive thinking works. And I always started to think in that direction of getting people successful using this vital tool of mind, because I understood how brain, people with that perspective and not the tech. And that's when I started seeing success, because even in terms of success, if you look at business, for example, it is not the business that will make you succeed or fail. It is not the product that will make you succeed or fail, but it's always it is always working smarter in what you're doing that will make you successful. Because you might work really hard, and this is what may happen to you, like you're pulling your hair, because the way that your brain is very specific mechanism. So if you keep doing the same thing over and over again but you're not getting results, you need to look at it from a new viewpoint. You need to understand a new system so that it will make you now go to a different route. And that's what will bring you success. Now, this is my book. It's called Your Profound Success: 7 Powerful Ways to Skyrocket Your Business Using the Internet. And I wrote this book along with Mr. Raymond Aaron, who's a New York Times best-selling author. I've written one more book. It's called The Secret of Wealth. And this is written by myself, my wife, Swapna, and Mr. Brian Tracy, who's known as the world leader in personal development. And I've also written one more book with Mr. Robert Allen, who's written a, and that book is in the field of real estate. Okay. Now, why I'm showing you all this is because this led me to this man who's Jack Canfield, and he is known as the father. He's the founder of this book called Chicken Soup for the Soul. And this book uncovers some of the major principles of how success can be achieved. How can you use your mind? How can you use the mechanics of your mind to actually make it possible for you to succeed? And today, what I'm going to show you is some of the principles that Jack Canfield has shared with me. Okay. Now, I've been featured on some radio interviews and I've done some TV interviews, and here are some examples where I was featured on the Canadian Real Estate Wealth magazine about how to actually be taking real estate, for example, as a tool and making it successful. Now, I've also been on a lot of stages and a lot of master classes that I've conducted, but I've always talked about this truth of motivation. What really motivates you? Okay. And my really success, the biggest success has been actually you. So when you learn this data, when you understand what I'm sharing with you and you apply that in your life, when you get that success, that's when is my real win. Because my win is actually to get you to understand this and then apply this in your life. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to get started with a very powerful slide. Now, why do people not achieve results in their life? What is it that holds them back? Okay? Why do people not reach their goals? Because people generally have something in their mind that they want to achieve, but they don't meet their goals. There is a very specific reason why, and we're going to handle that today. The reason actually is quite fascinating. It's a very amazing reason. And the basic reason is for any non-optimal conditions. So anything that you have in your life which is not optimal is because a person's inability to motivate themselves to do what they're supposed to do. And that's why they don't achieve the level of success. Okay. So it's not just the knowledge, it's not just the person doesn't know. Even if the person knows, but if they don't apply that knowledge, then you will see the person will not achieve the goal that they want in their life. Okay. Really, really fascinating to understand, because motivation plays a very, very critical role in a person's life. Okay. Now, why does that happening? I want to give you a little bit of mechanics behind it. Okay. To achieve something, you need a very, very important key element. Without this key element, you will feel lost and you will not progress as fast as you can. Okay. You will not have the urge to act. You will not achieve the result. And that one thing that you definitely need is motivation. Okay. Motivation is the key thing that you would need to progress. Now, why? Now, I'll give you some mechanics. I'll give you some biology behind it. What happens is in our brain, there is something called as amygdala. Okay. You may have heard about it. You may not have heard about it, but it's basically a small part of the brain, which is called amygdala. And if you study biology, if you look at these terms in biology, then you will find that the function of this small little part, amygdala, is actually to start inducing fear. It's called also a mechanism for fear, uh, threatening, anything that is making you more afraid, anything that's making you to be more careful. This is the part that controls your brain. So if you look at a spider and if you're scared of spiders, if you look at a dog, if you want to enter a business, if you want to do something scary, then this is the part that gets activated. And the amygdala is one of the things that holds you back from achieving the success that you want. So any motivation that you would have, biologically speaking, this is the part of the brain that will actually induce fear and will slow down your actions. Okay. So that's the mechanics part of it. Now, you need to overcome that. You need to overcome so-called the forces of amygdala, which is a fear-inducing part of your brain. Okay. So if you can overcome that, that's when you start achieving the results. And it's not ignoring that part. Okay. This part, the function of amygdala is very, very specific, and it is meant so that it can keep you safe. It is a fear mechanism, but it's a basically fight or fight mechanism that comes in. Okay. So it's all integrated in the brain because the brain wants to protect you. So it will induce this fight or fight mechanism because you either want to run away from it, or you want to take care that you are safe. And that's why this mechanism in place. But this mechanism generally gets overused. And that's why you will find that people will be afraid, people will be fearful, people will not take action because they're so worried, and their whole motivation is basically gone because they're afraid. Okay. Now I'm going to teach you 5 main ways. This is really, really amazing because I'm showing you 5 ways of how you can motivate yourself. Okay. So let's get into that stuff now. The 5 truths of motivation. The first truth I want to share with you is taking 100% responsibility for your success. 100% responsibility. And it's a very, very powerful principle because unless you do that, you're not going to be responsible for your own life. You cannot be cause over your life. Okay. Now, if you continue to blame someone or something in this universe, you're basically stopping your progress. Okay, what you're saying is, I'm not responsible for my life, but that person is. I'm not responsible for my life, but my parents are. I'm not responsible, my friends are, or the government is, the economy is, whatever you might say. And it may be true for you, however, it will not lead to progress. It may be true for you, but it will not lead to progress. You really have to understand this. So if you want to make progress, you need to start accepting responsibility for everything in your life. Okay. Now, the second thing that you should know is why. Why is this so important? Because if you say that that thing or that person is the result of where I am in my life, then you cannot do anything because the person is responsible. And you basically cannot control that person or that thing. So in other words, you're not controlling your own life, which is not the best situation to be in. But if you can start gaining back that control by taking more responsibility, then you are on your road to success. Okay. Now, The other thing that you should know is secret number 2 is you need to decide exactly what you want. Okay, exactly. You should know exactly what you want. And this could be envisioning your ideal life. How does your ideal life look like? Because you understand that the way the brain works is it understands in specifics. It doesn't understand in generalities. Okay, so if you give your brain a task that I want to achieve a lot of money, okay, it doesn't really understand a lot of money. But if you say I want $100, if you say I want $500, I want $10, that's something that the brain understands. Okay, if you say hey, my target or my goal is to do this, then that's what the brain understands. But if you just say, I want to make a lot of friends, for example, it will not know what lot of friend really means. For some people, a lot of friends might be 5 friends. For some people, it might be 100 friends. Okay? So you should know exactly what you want. That's how our brain works on specificity. Okay. The next thing that you should know is what does success look for you? And this is exact. You want to be as specific as possible. What do you really want? Okay. Start to look at that and also start to look at why is that important for you. What is it making that's important for you? It's not just you want it and you wish it and it's gone. Okay, you say that that's important for you. It might lead me to a good life. Then I understand this. I'll make more money. I'll make more friends. I'll have good relationships with my friends. I can help more people. I can do charity work. Like, you need to have a very, very solid reason as to why that is important for you. Okay, because first you make it happen in your mind and then it happens. So the mechanics of this whole process that I'm explaining to you is, first it needs to happen here. You should first know that it is going to happen, and then it will actually happen. People think that, oh, you know what, once I get that result, then I will be happy. It's actually the opposite. You have to first be there. First you have to know that this will happen in your life, then it happens. It's really a fascinating principle. Okay, the next principle I want to talk about is the power of goal setting. Okay, it's a very specific goal that you need to set, not just I want to do this random act of kindness. No, that doesn't work. Okay, don't say that I want to help 50 people this year. That's very, very specific. You can say, how do you want to help people? You want to say how long you want to help these people for, by doing what. Like, more information, more data that you can put in, the more real it is going to get for you. Okay. Now, setting your goals makes the achievement of it much, much more probable. Because if you just say something random, but it's not specific goal, then you will see that goal will not get achieved. And you will see that a lot of people put in, like, New Year's resolution, for example. They say, oh, I want to lose weight. Okay. Losing weight is not something that the brain understands. But if you say in the next 90 days, I'm going to lose 15 pounds of weight, and for that, I'm going to walk for half an hour on a daily basis. Or to do that, I'm going to eat this, and this only. Like, whatever you come up with as a plan, that is real for you. Okay? That is very, very specific goal setting. And what that will do is that will give you much more chances of making it happen, because now you have clearly defined and you've even put a date for it. So that's why it's become very real for you. It's not that random act. And that's what will give you major, major success. That will increase your chance of achieving that goal 100 times more. Okay, it's unbelievable, but try it and you will have fun with it. Okay. Number 4, you need to release the brakes. Release the brakes. What does release the brake means is, if you will have a lot of stops, if you will have a lot of things that distract you, okay, then you will realize that you're not progressing as fast. Okay, now your job is to be very diligently work on that area only. Okay, if you decide something, if you have a goal, if you have a purpose, your job is to keep moving in that direction, because there will be things around that will distract you, and stop doing that. Okay, stop doing that. You move with a very, very clear focus. Okay, you realize that these are fake realities, and you keep moving, because the moment you start to look at those things, you're basically applying some hand brakes. Okay, you're applying some brakes, because now you're not moving in the direction that you want. So if you can spot these realities which are actually fake, then you can say, hey, I'm trying to do this, and this guy or this thing or this is trying to distract me. Okay, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to keep moving. There is also some things in the past that have happened for which you already have these brakes applied. So if you start to look at these things and say, hey, you know what? That's not true for me. To achieve this, I don't really need this. And once you release that brake, automatically, boom, you're going to go faster. That's the beauty of this principle. Okay. Now, if you don't know how to release the brakes, if you don't know how to identify the brakes, then reach out to me. That's my website, yourprofoundsolutions.com, and I'm going to help you to achieve that. Okay. Now, the fifth truth. The fifth truth is one of the most powerful truths that you should know: taking action. Because the way our bodies work, the way our mechanism works, is the moment you do a specific action, there are cells in the brain that are called memory cells. Okay? They actually take that movement that you've done, and now they take your knowingness to a little higher level, because now it's not just something you've heard, you've actually done that action. And that's why working through a drill or working through an exercise and not just sitting and listening about it, it's a big difference. Okay. So my suggestion in principle number 5 is for you to take action. Take some action in the direction of the goal that you want to achieve. Okay. Taking action is the best handling to increasing your motivation. So if you don't feel motivated, if you don't feel strong enough, if you don't feel the urge to do it, just start to act. Just stand up and just do it. Move your shoulders, move your neck, and start to do something in the direction of your goal, because that will help you tremendously. Okay. Now, this is the key part in that taking action. Once you have success, even the smallest success that you make, you need to validate it and keep increasing your actions. Okay. So even if you get a small little success, never ever say that, that's nothing, that's only a little bit. No, you actually say, oh my God, this is amazing. I got this result. And it will tremendously help you, because now you're ready for the next level. Okay. So making that action happen, acknowledging that action, and validating it is actually the key of motivation, because now you will keep accelerating what you're doing. Okay. That's the formula for success. Now, the biggest secret of motivation is actually your willingness to confront it, because some of these things are hiding from